Starting Twitch. Okay, so now Facebook gives me an error. Let me modify it to bloody stream key again. Where's my Facebook streaming software? Copy. Okay. Start. Connecting.
Ignition sequence start.
Start, yeah. And Elon Musk is having PTSD after that. Okay,
Drivers,
we are live,
start
dude.
your engines.
Okay, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's get this show on
We've
the
come
road.
all this way.
Yeah, exactly. Right, I think we are on episode 107.
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
Already?
Already.
It feels like months since we did 100.
So I must tell you, I was watching some of the back catalogue.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, you've also done that.
I've done that, yes.
How far back have you gone, though?
I've done episode 1
Yeah.
a few times. Or
Have
one
you,
or two
have
or
you,
three,
have
one
you,
of those.
have you seen how we have aged?
I don't want to talk about that part. It was more the technology and how we were doing it. And my epic freezes.
Yes. So when I was...
I didn't realize how many we had in the past. It was a feature of the show.
Oh, yeah, and we also used to do like a weekly check-in. Like what's
How you
what's
doing?
your, what's your,
5, 6, yeah.
4.5. Oh no, we're not doing
5.5.
Yeah, we're not doing halves. Yeah, I know it was. I have to say it was pretty epic. The good old days. The good old days. Yeah. Anyway, there we were. So, how was your week? You want to give it a rating?
5.5.
5.5. Yeah, well, I think I'll go
It
with
was
you.
an average week.
Okay.
Flew by.
Yeah, that's the thing. I find the Fridays are coming through thick and fast. You know, they.
I mean, do you look at it as a one day closer to Christmas or one day closer to retirement?
Yeah, I think I'm at the age now where it's the retirement option. And
Yeah.
before it was like, oh no, now I'm going, please, quickly.
Bring it.
I can't
Bring
take
it
this
now.
anymore. I can't take this anymore. Yeah. So no. It was And my week was also average. I mean, I think what happens
Yeah.
you just get to that stage where you just say, well, you know what, I'm just going to accept. This is what it is. So
I don't think it's an acceptance thing. It's just what it is.
mm.
I don't want to accept this routine. Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, dude, that is what it is.
All right, so it's one step closer to
Retirement.
episode 200. Let's go with that.
Okay. I'm just going to change my Zoom so that you and I look equal. Yeah. Right, so I sent out some... Okay, so Teams is giving us an issue. I couldn't log in. Skype, well, you had a problem with Skype. What was your problem with Skype? Let's talk technology first.
It's this laptop that I'm using today. It's not... It's locked down. No new apps. No updates of old apps.
Ah, yes. Okay. And your personal laptop is...
It's not yet
It's due for replacement.
requisitioned.
Yes.
Yes, it's still due for replacement.
Okay, that's fine. So then going forward, we'll just do the Zoom, which means instead of 45 minutes, we've only got 40.
Oh, really?
Well, that's the Zoom limits, isn't it?
Okay, what time did we start this?
Yeah. The Zoom call, let's just see. I'll keep an eye on the Zoom call. It tells me how long we've been in here. Does it not? It says Zoom meeting 40 minutes and it doesn't tell me how long we've been in here.
It's about 4 minutes.
Okay. Well, yeah, so
Let's
we
go
can
with
push
5
it. We
minutes.
can push
Okay.
it to about 11. Let's try 11:45 and then we'll call it. So we'll shoot through all the content today. as he pulls the face. Yeah. So what I said we were going to chat about. Okay, well, Formula One. Interestingly enough, Formula One. I mean, by the time we have our next Grand Prix, which is next weekend, which reminds me, I need to go look at my teams again. You know,
thanks for
seeing that I'm allowed to tweak them a bit. I think I must take up that option. Yeah, but then I have that moment. Well, but what if I keep it the same? What if I change it and make it worse?
Yes. That person will win the Grand Prix that you take out.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's how it'll go.
Yeah. So by the time we have the next Grand Prix, it would have been, I think, is it not almost a month since the last Grand Prix? Was that a result of them cancelling the Chinese Grand Prix?
Exactly that.
Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, man. I'm having a bit of withdrawal symptoms and FOMO. Like, I feel like there's something missing in my life.
I will tell you that when we get to on this day later, there's a motorsport topic today.
Okay, cool. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's jump into some stuff here. Like I said, I didn't really have a chance to go brush up on my knowledge on this again. I did see the stuff come through during the week. Let's start with Starlink. The ANC blocks Starlink in South Africa. So I don't know if you know,
but the DA's kicked off.
We've had this issue in South Africa where they've been wanting to convert the terrestrial TV signal to digital. And then for that you would have to have a TV top box or whatever you want to call it, so almost like a DSTV decoder, but there was no need for a subscription or anything, and I suppose you would need a satellite dish for that. Okay, all good. You know that I don't even know if it's been resolved, because it's like no one's talking about it anymore, because I don't know if it's because it was resolved or people were just, this is taking so long. I think at the time they were sitting on 10 years in trying to resolve this license. And I mean, how difficult is it to sort that out? I can understand a couple of months, maybe a year, but it took them, at the time, it was sitting at 10 years already. And I wonder if that's going to be the Starlink situation.
Yeah. Starlink, South Africa is now behind its neighbors, which is sad. This is an opportunity to get connectivity everywhere. I mean, Starlink does come at a cost, though. Let's not forget that the subscription fees are, well, I don't know what they're like. What would they be like in South Africa?
$100 a month.
But what do you pay for normal?
Well, look, in Africa, funnily enough, the average cost is about $60. Other areas in the world, it's like 100, I think. So,
what's a normal broadband connection, though?
Yeah, so for 100, you're probably looking at about, maybe get away with 900 Rand. So instead of 1,800 bucks.
Dollars.
Yeah, so in dollars, geez, my maths is not that great. But in comparison, you're looking at about 1,800 Rand for Starlink. And, $800, 800 Rand for...
So it's double the price,
fiber.
Right?
Yeah, it's double the price. But I suppose if you look at what you're getting, you have this... You can be anywhere in the country. Mobility.
I get it. So for those... like those who have industries that traverse the country, absolutely great news. For those living in rural areas, do they have the means to pay twice the price to get connectivity?
Yeah, well, no, I agree with you saying. But I mean, is that going to be a reason to block it?
Well, there's that versus mobile phones.
Yeah, I know in some areas mobile connectivity is a bit dodgy.
But
at the
okay,
best part.
let's take it.
Bearing in mind that at my house I don't even get 4G. At my house, in the suburbs,
Hey,
in Johannesburg.
in my country, I don't get 5G. So,
well, funny enough, I don't get that either. Anywhere. Even though it's supposed to be, and I've got a 5G phone, and I don't know, am I supposed
let's
to
not
activate
talk
something?
about the fact that 7G is in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're going off topic. I think it's a disaster. I mean, Starlink is just one provider, though. But it's a precedent here. It's about making sure Starlink are trying to do this right. Get the licensing done. Make sure it's all above board. Everybody is available everywhere to everybody, and it's a fair thing. And it's now being dragged down by whatever policies or tempers.
Yeah.
And I think that's a shame. It's
Sure.
the technological advancements are hindered, the communications are hindered, the potential for improving lives is now hindered. And that's a shame.
So what
I mean,
they've
there
done
should
is
be actually a free service from the government, not them holding things up.
Yeah, sure. So what one company's done in South Africa is they bought a Starlink kit, set it up in the UK, set it up for roaming, brought it to South Africa, and have been testing it in South Africa. So you can get Starlink in South Africa. It's available, right? So and the speeds are pretty good. I think it was 100 megs down and 11 megs up, so that's not too bad. They even took it out to the Kalahari and tested it out in the middle of the Kalahari, and it still works. The only drawback is that you can only use it you can only roam for 2 months before you got to take it back to the country of origin for another couple of months. So you can use it, but you got a 2-month limit.
Yeah. But it's good to know that it will work.
Yeah.
All this. Can you imagine if we went through all this debate and kerfuffle, only get to the other side where they go, all right, we'll grant the license, and then it doesn't work.
And it doesn't work. Yeah, absolutely. And then just on the sort of hindering South Africa, like you rightly say, is that the other countries in Africa are taking it on. I think Nigeria's got it already, and other countries like Angola and all that, they're talking Q2. So we're in Q2 already. So hopefully by the end of June, you'll have it in other countries like Angola and other African countries.
Wasn't one of them Lesotho or Swatini, right there in the middle of South Africa? So maybe the people are going to start leveraging off that. I'm just trying to find your link.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the Starlink website, see if they've got some timelines for Africa. Order Starlink. Sure. Order online. See if I can go to their website and see what their coverage is. Business, maritime.
Eswatini is on the list.
So that's Swaziland, right?
Yeah.
Resources.
Mozambique on the list.
Do they give times?
Oh, near future. Sorry. Near future.
Yeah. Let me just see here. Select address. So at the moment, you've got Rwanda's got it, and Nigeria have already got. Let's see here. Available waitlist coming soon. Yeah, so the waitlist is basically the whole of Africa is on the waitlist. Yeah, okay. So it's a bit of a problem, to be honest. And I hope it's not going to drag out for too long.
Well, I'm hoping if it drags on, that we get creative. We bring innovation into this to find ways around it. The problem. I mean, this is just Starlink we're talking about.
Yeah, and there's
They have
still
the
open web.
infrastructure,
Yeah,
but yeah, maybe there's something else someone's going to do.
yeah. But I mean, the thing is, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. Anyway, so that's that. Sticking with Elon Musk,
Sticking with Starlink, yeah.
Starlink. Let's talk SpaceX. So
What's
the
your view on this rocket this week?
well, what do you mean in terms of it blowing up, or in terms of what
Is
the
this?
intention was?
I mean, yeah, any of that.
Well, it
It's
was a
for me.
test
It's a bigger
flight.
topic.
It was a test flight to send people to the moon and beyond, and we know that Elon Musk has got his eye on
That's what they
Mars.
originally won the contract for. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean the fact that it went crash, boom, tinkle, tinkle. Um, look, I suppose is this, is that part of the process? Because I mean, if you go back, you go onto YouTube, you'll see lots of videos of almost like the development cycle that SpaceX was going through in terms of um, launching these rockets, landing the propulsion section of the rocket, landing it on a deck in the middle of the sea, and if there are plenty of videos of where it went wrong. I mean, obviously there was an enormous cost in the learning. Hopefully they've learned
Yeah.
something from the exercise.
Did they not already factor this in? This is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Of course, there's going to be testing,
Yeah, sure.
right? And I'm trying to find the stats here while I mumble on. But this is just the next phase of testing, and
Okay.
everybody and the way it was publicized, it was everyone shouting and screaming, going woo! Even when it started, when they pushed the button to ignite it at the
Yeah.
end, people are still woohoo! Look at this. So I don't know. Is it propaganda or is this what's the point of this? Is it trying to showcase that this thing didn't go to plan
Mm.
because they were trying to orbit the Earth and then landed in the sea near Hawaii? That was the rough plan,
Yeah.
and it didn't get that far. So is it seen as a failure or not?
Look, I don't see it as a failure. Like I'm saying, based on the history, I mean, this is the thing, they go through these sort of like teething problems. That,
Yeah.
so, I mean, besides the cost, I mean, obviously we would all be like, wow, look at this first attempt in inverted commas. Look at this. He goes off, puts it into orbit, like you say, lands it successfully. It would be a good story to be telling. It's a little bit of I suppose, a dent in the process. But, yeah.
So
I don't see it as a problem. Hold on.
yeah,
All right. I've got
you got a
someone
domestic issue.
Yeah, I've got a domestic issue. Got to sort out my domestic. Just hold on a sec. Yeah, so I'm back online. Yeah, I mean, what
And
are
I'm
your
back.
thoughts? I mean,
Okay.
do you see it as a failure?
No, I don't. I mean, yeah, they failed what they would ultimately, if they had completed what they set out to do, they would have had a lot more information. This is about testing and getting information so they could tweak. Bearing in mind, this is a revolutionary thing. This is not just to put a man on the moon. This space ship, or starship, I think they're calling it, is being designed to be reused.
Yes.
All right. So as much as we've seen this big launch, and just to put it in perspective, that payload, that all that you see when it launches, all that fire and thrust comes from the payload to get it propelled from Earth through gravity into space, right? And then it just supposed to detach. The size of it, and just picture this for a second. If you go back to the space shuttle era and their payload systems, because remember they used to sit on the payload and then detach after it took off. which just left the space shuttle itself. That space shuttle payload was, well, let me rephrase this. The payload that we've just watched launch this latest Starship is 5 times bigger than the space shuttle payload.
Yeah.
And that space shuttle payload was already massive. I mean, there have been other bigger ones. The Saturn V, I think, that was also quite a big one. This is the biggest payload that's ever been conceptualized to be used to launch something into space. The biggest, which means this Starship is massive. It's, I just saw there's 150,000 for those who want the stats. 150,000 kilograms of payload. That's not small.
Yeah.
And it's burnt up in no time. Anyway, the Starship is there to be used for multiple things. And obviously they have the contract to go and use the Starship to go to space, to come back again, and keep doing that.
Sure.
If required. But it's also going to be used for other things. So they are going to, as part of their testing, also going to be putting more Starlink satellites into orbit, using this Starship, using all of this. Strange that, but anyway, it's all part of the testing.
Yeah, I wonder if, how many satellites have been.
Yeah. Oops. Oh dear. Well, we'll fix that later.
So interesting. The interesting thing is as well is that recently, I don't know if you saw the story about some of the Starlink satellites that were zapped by the solar storm that happened recently.
I heard a bit about that. It's going to happen. To then already factor this in, it does scare me how much is actually floating around in orbit. Current satellites, old satellites, bits of debris, space debris from various things we've done in the past. We're going to block the sun out if we're not careful.
Yeah.
So yeah, that Starship is designed for performance to orbit of more than 100 tons per flight. So they can do anything, whether that's cargo or whether that's people. It's not a small thing. But anyway, all that aside, so breaking all records to do all of this is breaking new ground, and this is what I'm looking at. This is what's important to me. It's breaking new ground. We've never done anything this big. This is the next step in space. We've done the resupply of the International Space Station, and that was all automated, and all that. We thought that was awesome. This is designed for reuse, so that it's a bit like the movies, where you just climb aboard and this thing operates like an aeroplane.
Sure.
Or the space capsule, the star ship itself, the piece at the top of the payload, is designed to just keep going and doing these various missions or whatever it needs to do. These trips, I'm not even going to call it a mission.
Yeah.
Because it's reused. It's just the payload behind it that it's just like filling up the gas.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, launch it again, off we
Step
go.
on the thruster.
So they were looking at this not just to see, I mean, the Starship capsule itself has already done multiple tests. It's already been used before.
Yeah.
So the next thing is the launch pad. Part of this test, which was glossed over, was looking at, if you consider how much thrust is being pushed on that concrete base or whatever it's made of, that launch pad needs to be reusable.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive. It's massive and not easy to construct. So they want to make sure that it survives. So as much as this, I'm going to call it a test, ended up with the explosion, that was by design. Because it can't just fall back to Earth because you don't know where it's going to fall. So you've got to blow it up in the air before it impacts the Earth. I think it was still a success. They've still got data. They've seen the impact on the launch pad. They've seen the trajectory it's taken. They've seen how various things react. So it's just the next step. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, sure,
as much as it's
absolutely.
probably poor for the environment.
Yeah, let's not
That's a
even
whole
go there.
different ball game.
I wonder what its carbon footprint is.
Larger than the
Large.
payload.
Large. Yeah.
Large.
Uh,
If we're going to go big, we're going to go big on all fronts.
yeah,
Tick all the boxes.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just watching the time. I see it's already 11:41.
Blimey.
Blimey. Let's just touch on
Blimey.
the scamming using AI. Running out of time for unlimited meetings. Upgrade Zoom. Um,
Oh, I
okay.
see.
I'm already getting a
Love how you go
notification.
into the AI to
Yeah. Zoom. Yeah, Zoom.
upgrade
Okay, just
now.
quickly. So what happened was there's this YouTuber or blogger that my daughters follow. Her name is Brooke Bush. There was a story that came out recently where they were scammed by an AI voice generator to make it sound like her grandfather or something like that. I might get some of the details wrong because, like I
Yeah.
said, I didn't.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yeah. It was. I can see how it can manipulate things,
Yeah.
but the story behind it was a bit wishy-washy.
Was it?
First, the kid was involved in an accident, and he phoned just before he had the accident.
Yeah.
The next thing we know, he's died in this accident. Depending on how she relates the story, I'm like, the whole story didn't make sense.
Okay. But I mean, it does
But
raise the
the
question.
concept,
It does raise
yeah,
the question about, because I've seen these TikTok videos where there's a guy doing a video and he's got the voice of, I don't know, Nicolas Cage or whatever. So, I mean, it is possible. So now it means that I can phone up, sound like somebody, ask them to do something. And imagine this in the corporate environment, because already we're looking at, phishing and scamming within the corporate environment where you get an email from the CEO to the CFO and saying, please, can you release this money
yeah,
to this account or, whatever, and, we warned about this, you must check the email it comes from, you must check the wording and, would this actually happen? Would the CEO ever ask the CFO to transfer money
yeah,
into an account? All that kind of stuff that goes on. I mean, this just takes it to the next level because, I mean, what are your checks and balances in terms of verifying that the person that you're speaking to
yeah.
is the person that you're speaking to?
It's touching on a different sense, right?
Mm,
It's not just
exactly.
written where you go, oh, question, do you react to what's
Yeah.
written? Now you're hearing something that's familiar, so that's already reaffirming that it's true before you've even heard it.
Yeah. So is it like the
Yeah,
case like when the CIA agent or the calls into the hotline, the CIA hotline, and says, "Hey, listen, I'm Agent
yeah,
007. Can you please confirm your hedgehog?" Is it going to get to that stage? So when the CEO phones you, can you please verify your passcode, please?
They're going
I
to
don't
have to go
know.
with two-factor authentication then,
I don't
because it
know.
was a code and the voice,
Yes.
but now you can't use that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's
Voice
something you have and
recognition.
something you know.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
And I mean, even facial recognition. People have demonstrated how you can 3D print a face mask. In other words, you've got a scan of the person's face, 3D print
yeah,
that. You can wear the mask and you can bypass the facial recognition.
yeah. It's
So,
something you have and something you know. I think that's the way forward.
yeah,
That's what's been around for some time. And we got clever with retina scans, but actually we're finding
yeah,
there's loopholes.
yeah, yeah.
Fingerprint scanning, and but how do you do it remotely? It's passwords and something else.
Mm.
Can't just
Yeah,
be
can
one
you?
factory.
Yeah, well, there's business opportunity to come up with
But
a
I
solution.
think we just at the start of this, right? I think we've said this on when we talked about ChatGPT. We're at the start of how people are going to use these things.
Mm.
There was something I picked up on this week, which was somebody had taken a big Oasis fan. He took the sound of Oasis and the voice of the Gallagher brothers, and he put it into his AI engine. Let's simplify this, and it produced Oasis type music.
Holy cow.
It sounds like Oasis. It sounds like the Gallagher brothers singing it. And yeah, they played it to one of the Gallagher brothers, and he's like, "That's pretty good." He's
I
now
wish we
thinking,
were that good.
all that hard work we did.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So it's going to be used for good and evil. Let's see what comes of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose that's the problem with all these kind of things is the good side and the bad side. Yeah. It's all about money. Anyway, in the interest of time.
Yeah, Harry, because my hay fever's kicking in badly.
Really? Let's kick off some days of the year and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we can do. It's National Record Store Day. I wanted to mention that Metallica, one of your favorite all-time bands,
yes,
if not the favorite,
yes.
their recent album has now achieved the #1 status in the UK.
Nice.
So this is the first album they've hit #1 in 15 years.
Oh wow!
I don't know how these guys. So how do we know these guys are not using AI?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
come on,
how they keep doing it, I don't know.
Yeah, take our songs and regenerate them. Or
so today is National Record Store Day, in light of Metallica hitting #1. Okay. So
I need to go visit a record store then, eh?
I live a long
to
way
celebrate.
from a record store.
To celebrate.
It's also Earth Day, and we were talking about how we're leaving Earth in these various rockets. And it's like, Point Week.
Like Earth Day, as in, hey, listen, we're going to turn all our lights
Save
off
the Earth.
Yeah, for 2 hours. Well, in South Africa, we don't have to do anything, dude.
It's government enforced.
Yeah, exactly. We've been practicing it the whole year.
Oh, excellent.
Look at, let's pat ourselves on the back that we are so.
Yeah, look at you, trendsetters.
We're saving the planet. I'm so glad that the ANC hasn't used that as an excuse for load shedding.
It's only a matter of time. Okay, so with 3 minutes left, I said I was going to bring a motorsport thing in.
Yes.
And it's not today, actually. It was 2 days ago, April 20th. The record books show that on this day, Georges Bouton won the world's first motor race.
Oh, wow.
It was in 1887.
What?
And you think, hang on, when were cars invented? Now, it was a bit of a hollow victory because there was no champagne ending. There was no celebrations because pretty much Bouton and his co-driver were the only ones taking part in the race.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you're probably finding he was the only one in the race.
But it's how motorsport started. It wasn't a race against other cars and people. It was a race against time.
Time, yeah.
Here's the record. Go out and beat it.
Yeah.
And it was a steam-powered quadricycle, but it was still regarded as a motor vehicle.
Yeah. Wow, that's
it
wasn't really
particularly fast.
That's really
There's a picture of somebody cycling next to it.
Walking. A horse.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What else? Let's talk about the world's actual day. In 1994, the world's largest lollipop was made by Bon Bon. They're a candy factory from Denmark. It weighed 3,011 pounds. What's that in real money?
Real money. I'm just going to say we've got 1.5 minutes left on Zoom.
3,011 pounds. So this was 94. It was massive. And as you can imagine, the thing is, the record's been broken since.
Are you kidding me?
I don't have the stats for that. Okay, and with that little bombshell, we have Jack Nicholson's birthday today.
Oh, wow. How old is he? Am I supposed to guess?
85.
I would never have got that high. I would have maybe
I was thinking
80.
late 70s.
Oh, yeah, 80. Okay,
yeah.
85.
And I can, with a few seconds left, on this day in 1981, more than $3.3 million is stolen from the First National Bank in Arizona in Tucson, and it's still the largest U.S. bank robbery in history.
Yo.
That is still going in there with,
Yeah.
stick them up, give us all your money.
Yeah, I feel like I'm under the clock here, under the hammer. I'm feeling a little
And
bit
on that
jittery.
bombshell.
On that bombshell. Cheers, guys. We'll see you next week.
Speedy exit stage left.
Oh, dude.
Bye.
Yeah, we'll have to chat about technology, man.
Thanks for playing.
Yo, cheers, guys.
Bye.